I'm Brian Christner, and this is The Byte, a bite-sized podcast about containers, cloud, and tech.
Welcome back to The Byte, everyone. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. My day yesterday started off a little bit strange. I walked out to where my bicycle should be, and it was gone. And that's how I started my day. But to give a happy ending to this story, I later found my bicycle at the train station in total normal shape, just kind of relocated. So that was a kind of a interesting way to start the Monday, but also a nice way to end the Monday. So today is Tuesday, and today is the Byte Day. And today we're going to talk about Lazydocker. Now, Lazydocker is kind of a new project, and basically what it is, it's an all-in-one terminal user interface. Yeah, you heard that right, a terminal user interface. And what it is, it allows you to control Docker everything from one user interface. And basically we can install Lazydocker by brew. If we want to just use the raw binaries in Linux, we can curl it. We can use Go, Arch Linux. And my personal favorite is always, because I don't like installing things on my machine, I ran it as a Docker container. So I ran it as a Docker container, and once you start it, it jumps right into this terminal. Now let me jump into the terminal. And this is the first terminal I've actually played around with where you actually can click around in the terminal, which is quite cool, to be honest. And once you start the terminal, it actually gives you a representation of what's running on your Docker host or wherever you're running this image, this container. And for my instance, I'm only running this particular container, this Lazydocker container, and I can see any exited containers. Now you can see I'm in the project folder, and there's a bug here because when I click it, it actually crashes the program. But then below that, there's containers, and I can see my Lazydocker container. If I click on there, then in the right screen, I can see logs. I can click on stats, and it shows me real-time statistics of the container, so CPU and RAM, which is quite cool. Then I can go into the config. So it actually does a Docker inspect on this particular container, and then I can do a top. So it actually shows me the top processes running inside this container. Now, like I said, I'm quite impressed with this user interface because I've never experienced a command line user interface where you can click around in. Now, you can also click on the images, and it shows you exactly, it does an inspect on the image, and it actually does shows you what other images are on the machine, so you can click around, go, MySQL or Alpine, and it does an inspect on the image, and it shows you exactly how the image is built. So all the layers within the image. Additionally, you can see what volumes are on the machine, and I can have one local volume, and it's called test DB data, and inside it just shows you which labels and where the mounts are. Quite cool. Now, there are some additional commands. So if you hit the B, and that's for bulk commands, you can go prune unused volumes. If you go to Alpine, so it's actually per interface within the terminal. And if I go B again within images, you can prune unused images, and I'll go ahead and run that. Are you sure? Of course I'm sure. And it's running. I don't see the terminal updating, but I assume it's pruning images. Now let's go back. So it must be running in the background. Then I can go up to running containers and go B again. And it gives me the bulk command: stop all containers, remove all containers, prune exited containers. Let's prune exited containers because I have about 5 of them currently on my screen. Are you sure? Yes. And it pruned the containers. Beautiful. So this is a really cool interface because you can do everything from one user interface. You don't have to remember any Docker commands, and it's quite quick. As I said, it's quite new. So when I click on the project, I get a Go error, and it kicks me out of the program. And I don't know if that's just because I'm running it within Docker container or not, but I'll open an issue and see what's going on there. But Lazydocker, quite a cool concept because you don't have to remember any Docker commands. You can navigate through everything that's running on your system, and you can also use it for Docker Swarm as well. So you can actually look at Docker Swarm services that are running and see CPU utilization per service, etc., which is quite cool. Now, it also does some coloring on the screen, so your terminal is running different colors. So you see containers is green, then exit is yellow, and you get like red is stopped. So it's quite nice. Whoever did this, let's see, Jesse Duffield, did a really nice job in this user interface. I mean, it's like I said, I've never encountered a user interface where you can click around in, which is quite Windowsy, but very nice. I see a lot of value here because you don't have to jump in and out of different screens to manage your Docker containers. You can use one screen to do everything. I mean, if I want to interact with it, I'd have to open a new terminal, but generally, I think this would be a nice little addition. I'll definitely keep an eye on this because it's something that can add a lot of value. I don't think it's quite there yet, but it's something that would be definitely nice once it's kind of removed some of these bugs, and maybe if it has the option to jump into the terminal or execute into the container, then I'd be totally set on this. So give it a try. It is Lazydocker. I'll put it in the show notes. It's quite a cool tool, and that's all for today's episode. And remember, your day can start bad, but in the end, it could get a lot better. So have a great day, everyone. Talk to you later.
Thank you for listening to this episode of The Byte. You can find the show notes at thebyte.io and follow me on Twitter at I Do My Own Tricks.